She wanted a soft life. But what she walked into wasn't luxury. It was sacrifice. A beautiful university girl, a mysterious mansion in Ikoyi, a lifeless body vomiting money, and a secret cult maxed by gold. This isn't just a story. It's a warning. Watch carefully, because not everyone chasing soft life comes back to tell the story. They buried Amira's parents when she was 14. Car crashed on the Enugu Expressway, the kind of nightmare phone call that left silence in a house for years. After that, it was just her and her older brother Chinedu. He was 22 then, already hustling through university, already working night shifts to feed them. He became father, mother, guardian, and therapist, all wrapped into one lanky, overworked boy who became a man too early. By the time Amira got admitted into Lagos State University, Chinedu had become a respected lecturer in Benin. But that didn't stop him from sending a flood of daily texts and voice notes, each one a net trying to catch her before Lagos swallowed her. Mimi, no matter how fine a boy talks, no matter how shiny the car, please, no shortcuts. This city eats girls alive. But Amira was tired of surviving. She wanted to leave. Amira arrived in Lagos with one box, one dream, and one lie. I'm just here to study. But the more she saw, the more her heart ached. Instagram timelines painted perfect lives, designer bags, champagne brunches, girls her age being flown to Dubai and gifted Benz keys like party souvenirs. Meanwhile, Amira counted her last 500 naira notes in her hostel room, drinking garri with no sugar. Her roommate, Toki, was her polar opposite, calm, God-fearing, and 2 years ahead in school. She was the kind of girl who read her Bible out loud, journaled about red flags, and kept pepper spray on her keychain. And Toki noticed the shift. She saw the late night makeup, the tighter dresses, the sudden perfume addiction, and phone glued to Amira's hand like it had secrets. So one night she spoke. Mimi, listen. I know Lagos looks sweet. I know the soft life is tempting. But please, don't let fine promises lead you into a dark place. Everything glittering here might just be someone's funeral clothes. Amira smiled politely, but deep inside, the hunger was already screaming. Amira started hanging out with different kinds of guys. Different kinds of luxury cars always dropped her in front of her hostel every morning. People whispered as she walks majestically into her room. But she doesn't care. All she knows was that she was making money. She would sit on her bed counting the creep's notes, smiling and whispering to herself, life no suppose hard though. She doesn't attend classes often as she used to. Instead, she would take herself out in a luxury restaurant or exotic bars, taking selfies with a fancy food on the table, trying to attract wealthy men. She was always on her phone, making reels for her fans. Most girls in her department envied and admired her. She was always looking hot and fresh. Some men in her department would try to woo her, but she doesn't have time for broke guys. If you don't have the moolah, you shift one side. This food is meant for the odogus who could afford me. Better stick to your cheap girlfriend. I'm not your mate, she would always say to them. Then one day, a message popped on her screen on a Thursday night, just as she lay in bed, eyes red from scrolling Instagram and comparing her life to everyone else's. Lions Crest Private. Hello pretty, I've been watching you. Come dressed in gold, you'll never suffer again. Location, 49B Queens Drive, Ikoyi. Name, Chifarinze. The profile had no posts, just a lion as its profile pic. Her heart studied. The name sounded powerful. Old money, the kind of wealth that didn't blink at poverty. She didn't tell Toki. She didn't respond to her brother's voice note that night either. I had a dream about you. Don't go anywhere new this week, I'm begging you. But Amira had already decided. Just one night she told herself, just one step into the soft life. She borrowed a gold gown from a girl 2 blocks away, the kind of dress that fits like sand and shimmered like temptation. She got ready like a bride on her wedding night. Hair, bone straight Brazilian. Lashes, thick like whispers in the dark. Her shoes were loud on concrete but soft on carpet. Her perfume left a trail like a warning. Her heart beat like a question. Before stepping out, she paused at the mirror. Her eyes sparkled, her lips curled, and deep inside, her gut twisted, but she smiled past it. Before she left, she saw a voice note from Chinedu. "Just checking on you. You good?" She didn't listen. She only smiled and whispered, "I'll be." Then she slid into the Uber and watched the street lights blow like a dream. 49B Queen's Drive. The mansion was breathtaking, not in a good way. More like a place God had abandoned a long time ago. Black gates, silent compound, a house that stood too still. The black gates opened before the Uber even stopped. The driver shivered. "Madam, you should say, 'I'm good,'" she cut him off. A maid in pure white opened the front door. Her skin was pale, too pale. Her eyes too still. Her eyes too still. She didn't speak, just handed Amira a golden robe and nodded. Inside, the silence wasn't peaceful. It was pregnant, like something was waiting. Amira noticed 2 girls sitting on the couch, both dressed in gold. Neither of them blinked. Their makeup was perfect. Their faces were blank. Still, Amira said nothing. She adjusted her robe, pressed her lips, and waited. After what felt like forever, the maid returned and gestured for her to follow. They climbed a spiral staircase, each step echoing like a warning. The hallway upstairs was lined with paintings of faceless women in golden frames. The air upstairs smelt of incense and iron. They stopped at a large wooden door carved with strange markings. The maid opened it slowly. The door creaked open. What Amira saw inside should have killed her scream. And there, in the middle of the bedroom, too luxurious for this world, sat a girl, cross-legged on the floor, naked, pale, wide-eyed, mouth trembling, and from her lips, slowly, painfully, she vomited 1,000 naira notes, stacks of money soaked in saliva, some with streak of dark red liquid. Her ribs poked out like twigs. 2 other girls were counting it into balls, like it was normal, like it was holy. Amira opened her mouth to scream, but the door slammed shut behind her, locked. And then from the walls came chanting. Low, rhythmic, terrifying male voices chanting in a language that sounded like earth being split open. She has entered. The offering begins. Amira froze. The girl on the floor, her limbs were stiff, face locked in a death-like trance. Her mouth moved on its own, like it was being pulled from inside. Each 1,000 naira note that spilled was wet, clamped with something black, blood, ink, something Asian. "I need to leave." She turned, banging on the door, nails clawing at the wood. But the more she pounded, the quieter the chants became. Not because they were stopping, no. They were moving. Closer, clawing through the floorboards, whispering through the chandelier, as though the house itself was breathing. Suddenly, the lights dimmed, not by a switch, but like something had sucked the energy from the room. A voice echoed, not loud, not human, just there. Behind her eyes, inside the chest, under her skin. She has seen the girl of gold. She must now become one. Amira backed into the corner trembling, and that's when she saw them. Hands, pale, aged, bony hands, reaching out from under the luxury bed, from behind the velvet curtains, from the shadows of the marble closet. No bodies, just hands, moving like spiders, crawling towards her, dancing across the floor like they knew her. One of them touched her ankle, cold, gentle, possessive, and Amira screamed. Meanwhile, back in the hostel, Toki sat on her bed, arms folded. Something was wrong. Amira wasn't picking her calls. Her bed was neatly made, too neatly, and the dress from earlier, gone. Toki's instincts kicked in. She opened WhatsApp, scrolled through their chats, and saw the pinned conversation with the username Lion's Crest. She clicked, and what she saw made her stomach drop. It wasn't a normal chat. No messages, just a location ping, no other details. But Toki had heard the whispers on campus. Girls who disappeared after goatee parties. Whispers about a certain house in Ikoyi where girls were blessed and never returned to class. She picked up her phone, dialed Chinedu. "Good evening, sir. Sorry to disturb you. It's about Amira. She's missing. I think she's in danger." Back to the house. Amira was on the floor now, not by force. Her knees just gave out. Her limbs weren't obeying her. And the girl who had been vomiting money, she had stopped. Now she was just staring, eyes fully white, neck twisted as a painful angle. Her body leaned forward like something had been sucked out of her. Amira crawled toward her crying, "Please, what is this place? What's happening?" But the girl didn't respond. Her jaw slowly unhinged, bones creaking, and a voice, a completely different voice, escaped her mouth. "You wanted gold. Now give us blood." Suddenly, the hands grabbed Amira by her waist, her hands, her throat. They didn't hurt her, not yet. They just held her still, like a prize, like a canvas waiting to be painted. Then the door opened, and in walked him, Chief Arinze, tall, ageless, dressed in white and gold. Eyes too kind for a man like this. He smiled. "You are special," he said, like he meant it. "Not many survived the first hour, but you were born to be good." He snapped his fingers, and the bed lifted, not rose, lifted, as though it was being pulled upward by invisible chains. Beneath it was a staircase, stone ancient, lit by oil lamps. He gestured toward it. "Come, my dear, you came for soft life. Now you will see how softness is made." Amira shook her head. "No, I want to go home, please." But the chanting began again, louder this time, rhythmic, terrifying. And her feet, traitorous feet, began to move, step by step, toward the staircase, toward whatever lay below the surface of the house. The stairs were old, not dusty old, cursed old. Each stair felt like a remembered pain. And as Amira descended, her eyes started ringing, not from sound, but from memory. She could suddenly hear her brother's voice, clear, strong, from that text message weeks ago. "Mimi, please, Lagos boys are not what they seem. I'm not around, but don't ever chase what glitters. I wished you better." She wanted to cry. She wanted to scream, but her legs just kept moving. Behind her, the stairs sealed. The bed above slammed shut like a trapdoor, and the chanting became a heartbeat, deep, thick, like it was coming from the walls. Then the hallway opened into a wide chamber, and Amira saw them, girls, dozens of them, sitting in circles, cross-legged. Some were crying, some were blank, but all of them had glowing gold skin, not makeup, not paint, skin like metal, skin like punishment. In the center of the room was a huge gold statue of a woman, eyes hollow, mouth wide open. Money poured from it like vomit. Blood soaked its feet. Chief Arinze walked in, smiling like he had brought her flowers. "This is Obirigo, the mother of wealth. She doesn't want money, she wants memories." He looked at Amira with something dark in his eyes. Pride, pity, hunger. Each girl here was once like you, pretty, ambitious, unlucky enough to want more. You don't give her your body, you give her your dreams, your childhood, your joy. In return, you glow. You become wanted, worshipped, desired, but never truly you again. Amira shook her head violently. This couldn't be real. It had to be a drug, a hallucination, something. But then she saw her, the girl from the room. Except now she wasn't vomiting, she was smiling. She walked up to Amira and touched her cheek. Her touch burned. Relax, sis. You'll get used to it. You have cars, followers. Men will weep for a reply from you. Just don't ever try to leave. She leaned closer, whispered, no one who lives stays beautiful. Meanwhile, back at the hostel, Toki couldn't sleep. She had gone to the security office on campus. No help. She tried Chinedu again, still no reply. So she did the unthinkable. She opened her drawer, brought out her dirty anointing oil, and said the only prayer she remembered from her grandmother. Whatever room she's in, scatter it. If it's not made of God, burn it. If she's bound, free her. Bring her back. And somewhere in that golden dungeon, Amira suddenly felt heat. Not from fire, from resistance. Like something had entered the chamber that didn't belong. Obirigo's statue began to creak, just a little, and Chivarize flinched. He turned, eyes scanning the room. Someone is interfering, he hissed. Find who is disrupting what you're doing here, and end them. Amira's body was hot, not sweaty hot, burning with a fire that wasn't hers. As if someone, somewhere was calling her back. The statue of Obirigo cracked again. A faint click like dry bones snapping under pressure. Chivarize noticed. He didn't speak, he growled. Then he turned to the gold-skinned girls, barked something in a language that hadn't been spoken by humans in centuries. 3 girls stood immediately. Track the prayers, he commanded. Silence the light before it blinds the ritual. And with that, they vanished. Vanished. Not ran. Not walked. They dissolved like shadows pulling into the walls. Back in the hostel, Toki wasn't done praying. She didn't even know what she was saying anymore. Words were pouring from her mouth like thunder and water mixed. The entire room shook. Her roommate's bed creaked. The air was heavy like someone else was breathing beside her. Then the lights exploded. Pop, pop, pop. Darkness swallowed the room. And from the mirror, something began to climb out. Not walk through, not reflect, climb out. It looked like Amira, but the eyes were hollow. And the smile was wrong. Too wide, too empty. Toki, it whispered. She belongs to us now. You are too late. Toki didn't scream. She threw the entire bottle of olive oil in its face and screamed, I cover my friend with the blood of Jesus. Let her go. The creature shrieked, smoke pouring from its face and fled back into the mirror, which shattered into black dust. Toki didn't wait. She threw on her hoodie, slippers, grabbed the rest of the oil, and ran barefoot through the night, straight to the small church beside the off-campus hostel. She burst through the gates, sweaty, breathless, eyes wild. The young pastor, Pastor Ayo, was locking up after evening service. Sister, what happened? My friend, she's missing. She's in trouble. I saw something not human in our room. They have taken her somewhere. She needs help now, please. Her voice cracked. She dropped to her knees, clutching the olive oil bottle like it was her only weapon. The pastor didn't ask more. He nodded once, stepped back into the church. Toki followed. The moment they touched the altar, he shouted, Everyone under this roof, raise your voice. We're going to war. And the prayers began. Violent, desperate, fire-soaked. Every evil house holding Amira. Let confusion scatter them. Let their altar catch fire. Let every demon lose direction. Inside the temple of Obirigo, suddenly the golden chamber shifted. A wind, unseen, unnatural, swept through the room. The walls began to shake. The gold on the statue of Obirigo started to peel, like skin being torn off. Girls began screaming. Some of them collapsed. The chanting from the walls turned to screams of confusion. Chief Arinze stood in the center of the room, eyes wild, shaking. What is happening? He looked at Amira, who was now trembling in the corner, her golden robe stained with sweat, tears and dirt. You, he whispered. What are you doing here? Amira couldn't speak. She was terrified, frozen. Her body was shaking like it wasn't hers anymore. Then Chief Arinze did something no one expected. He screamed. Not a ritual scream, not a demonic laugh, just a man, angry, panicking, human. "Leave this place immediately! Leave! You have destroyed everything!" His voice was thunder. The ceiling cracked. Flames licked the corners of the chamber. Amira didn't wait. She turned and ran, faster than she thought her legs could carry her. Up the stairs, through the hallway of the cursed paintings, now falling off the walls. The silent maid was nowhere in sight. The house was bleeding heat and chaos. As she burst out the front door, smoke trailing behind her, the mansion cracked and groaned like something inside it was dying. Amira staggered into the streets, hair wild, legs weak, skin bruised. Her robe was torn at the side. Her eyes were wide with terror. She stumbled, coughing, then collapsed on the side of the road. A car skipped to a stop. A man in white shirt jumped out. "Hey, madam, are you okay? Somebody help me." She blinked, tried to speak. Only one word came out. "Help!" He scooped her up and placed her gently in the back seat. The man sped off, tires screeching into the Lagos night. They rushed her into emergency. The nurses started asking questions. She didn't respond. She couldn't. She just stared at the ceiling, still hearing the chants, still seeing the golden room, still wondering, why did they let her go? Amira lay still on the hospital bed. Her skin was pale, her lips dry, a drip in her arm. Machines hummed wildly beside her. 2 full days had passed since her body gave out on that lonely road. But now, her eyelids fluttered. Slowly, painfully, she opened her eyes. The first face she saw, Chinedu, sitting beside her, looking older than she remembered, tired but alive. And beside him was Toki, her roommate, hands clasped, silently praying. Toki looked up, gasped and grinned. "Oh my dear Amira, thank God you are awake. You have been unconscious for 2 days." Chinedu rushed to her side, his voice cracked but steady. "Mimi, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Is anything hurting you?" Tears rushed to Amira's eyes before her voice could. Chinedu placed a gentle hand on her head. "You scared us, Amira. I came down from Benin when I couldn't reach you. I found you lying by the road. You were asking for help. I brought you here. That's all that matters now." Amira blinked at him, still trying to understand. Where am I?" she whispered. "In a hospital, safe, alive. That's all you need to know for now." But the moments slowed, and the memories came flooding back. The hands, the money, the statue, Chief Arinze's voice, the fire. She broke down in tears. "I'm so sorry, brother. I should have listened to you. I should have listened to Toki. Please forgive me." She turned her teary face towards Toki. "Thank you for praying, for fighting, for being there. God will bless you. You're not just a roommate, you are an angel." Toki's eyes welled up too. She held Amira's hand gently. "That's not important now. What matters is you are alive. But Amira, you must be prayerful. The kind of forces you walked into, they don't forget easily. They are very dangerous." Amira nodded slowly. "I will, I promise." 2 days later, Amira was discharged. She didn't go clubbing. She didn't take selfies. She didn't go shopping. She walked quietly, barefoot in spirit, back to the little church where Toki's prayers had torn open the darkness. Every day after that, she was there, sometimes in tears, sometimes in silence. She repented deeply. She covered herself in the blood of Jesus, and slowly, her soul began to breathe again. The whispers on campus started too. "That's the girl who almost died in Ikoyi. She went to meet those rich cult men. Lucky she didn't come back in a casket." But Amira didn't care. Some students judged her, some avoided her, but others, especially girls, learned from her mistake. Amira stopped chasing luxury. She started attending her classes religiously. She studied harder than ever before. She even started a small business, baking chin-chin and cakes, selling them to classmates and lecturers. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. Toki supported her every step of the way. Some mocked her hustle, others admired it. And God, he watched. 2 years later, Toki graduated with honors. Amira danced with her in their tiny hostel room, laughing for the first time in months. She hugged her tightly and whispered, "God gave me you. I'll never forget that." Years later, Amira graduated in flying colors. The girl who once vomited tears now smiled in grace. With her chin-chin money, her brother's support, and God's mercy, she walked proudly into the next season of her life. She got a job in a reputable company. She met a man, kind, prayerful, humble. They got married in a small church with just close friends and Chinedu shedding tears in the front row. Amira never stopped attending church, never chased soft life again, because she had learned there is nothing softer than peace and no life sweeter than one lived in truth. Moral lessons. Chasing fast money may look glamorous, but every shortcut hides a trap. The devil rarely comes with horns. He comes wrapped in gold, with a smile. Be content. Be prayerful. Stay grounded. Listen to those who love you. Because what you gain by ignoring wisdom, you may end up paying for with your life. To everyone who stayed with this story from the beginning to end, thank you. Thank you for watching, for listening, for feeling every twist, every tear, and every lesson. This wasn't just a story, it was a reminder that in a world full of glitter, not everything that shines is safe. And in a city like Lagos, wisdom can be your only lifeline. If this touched you, if it made you reflect, or even if it just made you feel something real, please share it. Let someone else learn before they walk into fire. And to all my returning viewers and my new ones joining the family, I love you, I appreciate you, and I pray you never fall into the hands of what Amira escaped. More stories are coming, deeper, wilder, realer. Stick around, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. This is your girl, Golden. Bye!